Hi, everybody. I'm kind of upset right now. I just lost a buddy a couple hours ago. An old man in the building here. He's about. I think he turned. Well, last month he turned 83. I believe he didn't have any family. He told me he had outlived his sons, and um, he collapsed on the street just right out here on the corner in front of. It was across the street from Nick's grandma's house. But I used to take him soup beans and vegetable soup and chicken soup up there whenever I'd make a crock pot of stuff. I always fed him because he didn't have anybody. Um, but God bless the lady that was doing chest compressions. She was driving by and she saw him laying on the sidewalk by himself, and she just pulled over and she started doing chest compressions. And God bless you, honey. I don't know who you are, but God knows, and God bless you. Um, I walked up to her, and he was purple, and his eyes were open, and they were, his pupils were fixed and dilated, and I just touched her on the shoulder and I said, honey, thank you, but he's gone. And I closed his eyes because I didn't want him looking like that. But anyway, I'm kind of sad. It got me thinking about what happens when people die. I don't think that anybody really knows. My mom believes, like Jehovah's Witnesses do, that people are dead until the resurrection. But I think in Ecclesiastes, where it talked about people being asleep, not knowing anything, I think that's because Jesus was the first one to be resurrected, and maybe people, except Elijah, maybe everybody stayed dead in their sleep until he was resurrected and he opened the door to heaven. I know Paul said that to be absent in the body is to be present with the Lord, or it'd be better to be present with the Lord, or something along those lines. I'm kind of confused right now. I do know that things happen. Something happens when you die, because my cousin died in February of 2005 of pancreatic cancer, and I was not there, but my aunts, my grandma's younger sisters, he was the son of one of them. They said that he was reaching for something before he died. Well, on May 5th, 2005, I was a chaplain in a nursing home, and I was going to go work with hospice until this particular thing happened. But a man named Ken Hoops, he had bone cancer, and it was his last day on earth. And one of the residents, her name was Rosie, she was mentally challenged, and she went in there, bless her heart. She's actually related to my stepmother's family, but she went in there and she was with him every day. She would sit with him, her and the hospice lady. Well, I went in there, and the hospice worker whispered to me, she said, sometimes they need to hear that it's okay, that they can go. And I took his hand and I said, I love you, Ken. And he said, I love you too. And I said, but I want you to go. I said, if it's time for you to go and you have to go, it's okay. I want you to go sleep with the angels. And about that time, he started reaching like my cousin did. And the hospice worker said, what are you seeing, Ken? And he said, Jesus is coming to get me. And I start wailing. I'm flipping out. And I felt so horrible because poor Rosie, I'm supposed to be comforting them, and here they're comforting me. I got tears and snot, and I'm just falling apart. What's happening? And he laid back and he closed his eyes and he said, I'm ready, like that. And he kind of had a smile on his face, and he said, I'm ready. And I told him I loved him, and he said, he always told the stupid joke, and we would get aggravated with him because the joke was stupid, but I knew what he was going to say when he said this. He struggled, and in between breaths, he said, ma'am, can I tell you a joke? No, normally I would have said, no, because that joke is not funny. But this time I was like, okay, you could tell me. And he said, what is a surprise? And I said, I don't know, Ken, what is a surprise? And he said, it's a fart with a lump in it. And he held my hand and he closed his eyes and he was gone. So I believe, that's the first time I've told that story without wailing. It always has affected me, really. I decided I could not go to work with hospice after that because I work better with them while they're alive, praying with them while they're alive than, when that's going on. But anyway, I am firmly convinced because not just my cousin, Mr. Hoops, but other people have done things. When my mother-in-law died, I wasn't there, but my ex-husband told me about it. They were all standing around her bed and she was asleep with her eyes closed, and she opened her eyes and went like this. And she just died. She was seeing something was at the foot of her bed. No, whether it was Jesus Christ, whether it was an angel, her dead husband was coming back, I don't know. But she saw something that was familiar because she, like that, was just like, it's you! Like she was happy, So I don't know. It doesn't really matter, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. I believe that we could sit there and argue till the cows come home about it. Nobody's really going to know until we get there, and we certainly can't come back to tell the tale. So, but anyway, maybe one day when we get to glory or wherever, it'll be revealed to us. But anyway, I was thinking about Ken dying when, seeing Zeke that way, laying on that hot sidewalk. It was really sad. But anyway, I'll talk to you all later. I got to get in here, and I don't really have too much of an appetite now, but I'm going to get in here and maybe make me a fruit plate. So anyway, say a prayer for me tonight, and say a prayer for that sweet lady who did what she did today and tried to save his life. But it was his time. But anyhow, I'll talk to y'all later, and you have a good day. Good evening. Bye-bye.